Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit.
The smell of competition is getting sharper ahead of the 5th MotoGP series, which will take place at the Bugatti circuit, Le Mans, France. The 2025 season brings a new dynamic to the table, and one of the most anticipated main stories is the adaptation journey of MotoGP living legend Marc Marquez with his new team Lenovo Ducati. After more than a decade with Honda, during which he won 6 MotoGP world titles and 2 additional titles in the junior class, Marquez made a big decision to move to Ducati, the team that has dominated the World Championship in recent seasons. The move has been called one of the biggest transfers in modern MotoGP history. However, the transition to a new team and a new bike was not without its challenges. Although the Ducati is known as the most competitive bike on the grid today, the Desmosedici character is much different from Honda's RC213V, which over the years has meshed well with Marquez's aggressive racing style. Even for a rider of Marquez's caliber, adaptation is not instantaneous. The bike is very fast, very stable, and has incredible potential. But to be fast on it consistently, I have to change my approach. I'm still in the stage of learning the limits, where I can maximize the potential without crossing those limits, Marquez said in a media interview ahead of the Le Mans GP weekend. In the early races of the 2025 season, the public could see the real struggle of the 8-time world champion. He had indeed shown amazing speed, especially in free practice and qualifying sessions, even coming close to securing the podium several times. However, race results have not always been consistent. A few minor incidents and crashes in technical corners showed that Marquez was still not fully at peace with his new bike. According to MotoGP analysts, Marquez's famously aggressive racing style, full of pressure at the front and habit of braking very deeply, needs a little adjustment to really fit the character of the Ducati, which is more stable and powerful at the rear. The Ducati is a bike that excels on straights and acceleration, but requires precision in braking and grip management in corners. Marquez himself did not deny that the adaptation process was mentally and physically draining. I don't want to rush things. Every race week I learn something new. Once I recognize the limits of this bike, the grip limits, the braking limits, to the character of the electronics, I am sure I will be more stable. If that happens, I will take fewer risks, fall less, and start to perform consistently, he added. From the team side, Lenovo Ducati gave full support to Marquez. There is no excessive pressure to win immediately. They understand that adaptation is a process, even for a rider with as impressive a record as Marquez. Ducati team principal, Davide Tardizzi, said that Marquez brought an extraordinary fighting spirit to the team. We don't doubt Marc's ability. He is a true champion. All we need is time. We see positive progress in every series. When he is fully integrated with this bike, he will be a great force. In addition, Marquez's relationship with his teammate, Francesco Pecco Bagnaia, has also been the subject of discussion. Two top riders in one team certainly bring their own dynamics. But so far, both have maintained high professionalism and mutual respect. Even on several occasions, Marquez mentioned Pecco as an important reference in his learning process. The Le Mans GP could be a turning point. The circuit has a combination of fast tracks and technical corners that demand precision braking and traction management, two aspects that Marquez is trying to master with Ducati. In the past, Le Mans has not been an unfamiliar track for Marquez. He has taken victories and several podium finishes here. But this time, the challenge is different. With the political temperature of MotoGP hot, rivals like Jorge Martin, Maverick Vinales, and even rookie Pedro Acosta are starting to show their teeth. Marquez will need to find his footing soon, and Le Mans could be the perfect place to start. One thing is for sure, the racing world knows one thing about Marc Marquez. Never underestimate him. Despite all the challenges of adaptation, he's still a rider with true racer instincts, uncompromising courage, and a determination that few others have. If Marc Marquez has truly found his feeling with Ducati, the world may once again witness the dominance of a legend, this time in Ducati Red. On the other hand, his own teammate, Francesco Bagnaia, who is also the reigning world champion, admits to enjoying the new dynamic in the team garage. The healthy rivalry between these two top riders pushes them to perform sharper every week. Marc brings new energy. We push each other to go faster. But I know, if he has found a comfortable point with this bike, the competition will be even crazier, Bagnaia said with a laugh. The Le Mans MotoGP itself could be a turning point for Marquez. This circuit has a long history with him, including glorious victories in the past. With a mixed layout of slow corners and aggressive acceleration zones, Le Mans is the perfect testing ground for anyone looking for the ideal chemistry with their bike. More than just a battle on the track, Marc Marquez's story with Ducati is one of evolution. From a fearless young rider to a veteran who combines experience, intelligence, and sharp instincts. If he manages to tame the Desmocetisai, the bike that has taken Bagnaia to 2 consecutive world titles, it's possible that Marquez will return to his former glory, this time with Ducati Red on his chest. One thing is for sure. If Marc Marquez fully understands the limits of the Ducati, we won't just see him crash less often, we might witness a new, more mature, more efficient and more legendary dominance from the baby alien. The Jerez circuit, which is full of history, once again witnessed the tenacity of a MotoGP living legend. Marc Marquez, a Lenovo Ducati racer, proved that the spirit of never giving up is not just a slogan, but something he proved on the track. The 2025 Jerez MotoGP race did not seem to go according to plan for Marquez. A fairly good start turned into a nightmare when in the early laps he crashed. The Ducati Desmocetisai GP25 motorbike he was riding skidded after passing a fast corner, causing him to be dragged into the gravel. Many thought that Marquez's race was over there. However, Marquez is no ordinary racer. He immediately got up, pumped up his adrenaline, restarted his motorbike engine, and joined the track from the very back. Without giving in to the pain or minor damage to the motorbike, Marquez began a tough mission, turning things around. With his sharp focus and typical courage, Marquez began to carry out a chase. Lap after lap, he showed extraordinary toughness. Overtaking after overtaking he did, some of them very daring, overtaking opponents in narrow areas that only a few riders dared to try. Amid the pressure, Marquez remained calm. The Lenovo Ducati team in the paddock looked tense and amazed at the performance of their mainstay rider. The spectators in the stands gave a standing ovation every time he managed to overtake. When he finally crossed the finish line in 12th position, it was not just about numbers or points. It was about the message that a true champion is not judged when he is on top, but when he is able to rise from adversity. In a short interview after the race, Marquez expressed his gratitude. Today was about fighting against myself. After the crash, I only thought one thing: keep fighting. My team deserved the result, and I didn't want to give up so easily, said Marquez with a tired smile. Marquez's achievement in Jerez is real proof that experience, passion, and strong will can work miracles in difficult situations. With this important addition, Marquez keeps his chances of winning the world title alive, and more than that, reaffirms his status as one of the true warriors in MotoGP history. MotoGP Jerez 2025 has recorded another heroic story, and Marc Marquez is the main character. On the other side, start of the race, a burning hope. All eyes were on Marc Marquez as the starting lights went out. Racing on home turf, with the support of thousands of fans filling the stands, Marquez looked full of enthusiasm. His start was quite good, placing him in the leading group in the fight for position. However, on the Jerez track that demands high precision and extraordinary courage, everything can change in an instant. On the third lap, when trying to push harder to maintain his position, Marquez lost the front tire grip when taking turn 5. In an instant, The Desmosedici GP25 motorbike he was riding skidded off the track. The sound of disappointed sighs was heard from the stands. The Ducati team in the garage held their breath. The camera focused on Marquez, who fell into the gravel. Many thought that the day was over for him. Moment of resurrection, never giving up. However, Marquez is not the type of rider who gives up. Quickly, he got up from the gravel, quickly checked the condition of his motorbike, and tried to start the engine. In a few dramatic seconds that felt like an eternity, the Desmosedici finally came to life. Without hesitation, Marquez returned to the track, far behind, in 24th place. The bike appeared to have suffered some minor damage to the fairing, but nothing could stop his determination. At that moment, I only had one thought. I had to continue the race, no matter how difficult it was, Marquez said after the race. Lap after lap, a relentless struggle. Throughout the race, Marquez showed incredible consistency and toughness. He began to prey on the riders in front of him one by one. Lap 7, Marquez overtook 2 riders at once at turn 6, showing that he had not lost any speed even after the crash. Lap 10, he closed the gap on the middle group. His aggressive but controlled style allowed him to overtake the other riders without any significant mistakes. Lap 15, Marquez was already in 16th place. The previously silent crowd began to applaud loudly every time he crossed the start-finish line. Lap 20, after a fierce battle with several mid-table riders, Marquez managed to break into 13th position. And finally, on the last lap, after fighting tooth and nail with a bike that was no longer 100% perfect, Marquez secured 12th position. A result that, looking at the chronology, felt like a great victory. Post-race reaction, the steel mentality of a champion. In Parc Ferme, Marquez was greeted with hugs and applause from the Ducati crew. He looked tired but also full of pride. I wanted to prove that in racing, it's not just about the podium. It's about how you fight until the end, no matter what. Today, I fought not just for points, but to show myself that I still have that fire, said Marquez with sparkling eyes. Ducati team manager Davide Tardozzi also praised Marquez's mentality. We never doubted his ability. But today, he showed more than just technical ability. He showed the heart of a true warrior, he said. Impact on the standings. With additional points from 12th position, Marquez still remains in the top 5 of the 2025 MotoGP standings. Although not an ideal result, the struggle in Jerez actually boosted the team's morale ahead of the next series, where Marquez is known to always appear strong. MotoGP observers called this performance one of the best comebacks of the season. A reminder that in the world of racing, miracles can happen at the most unexpected moments. Conclusion: more than just racing. What Marc Marquez did in Jerez was not just about the final result on the standings. It was about showing the true essence of motorcycle racing: determination, passion, and the courage to keep fighting even when everything seemed lost. That day, under the hot Andalusian sun, Marquez wrote a new story in his brilliant career, not with trophies, but with his heart.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have big doubts, not what I'm about, have your fucking cloud, it be raining now. I keep making sound, go another round, bitch I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me,